Rasmus Højlund, remember the name, the big Danish wonder kid of Atalanta Bergamo, who has scored 7 goals in 14 league starts in Serie A. A player who I believe should be at the very top of that shortlist that the Manchester United scouts have when it comes to the centre forward targets for this summer. What kind of player is he and what can he bring to Manchester United? Let's analyze. So in this video analysis, we are going to look at a few factors that make Rasmus Højlund such an amazing striker, and one of those things that we're gonna look at, of course, is his ability in the box. What makes him such a fox in the box? So this was from Højlund's most recent game for Denmark, where he scored a hat-trick against Finland. Now Højlund is in this position, of course. He wants to be in this area right here. That's where he can score a goal. That's where he can receive the ball easily from the winger over here. But of course, as you can see, he's marked by a center back in this area. But what Højlund is gonna do is, of course, he's going to make a smart run, because here in these kind of situations, the center forward and the center back are like playing a cat and mouse kind of situation in which, let's be honest, the striker actually has the advantage. So let's look at Højlund's run and let's see what he actually does. As you can see, he runs and stops and then changes directions, therefore confusing the center back, and then now he has the ability to receive the ball in this area, and of course beautiful athleticism from him in order for him to finish this ball. A lot of a lot of football fans say, well, that striker sucks because all he does is score tap-ins. But the question is, how did he put himself in a position where he can score that tap-in? Now let's look at this other sequence. Højlund over there wants to exploit this area over here. Beautiful play, but now, as you can see, these defenders right here, so Højlund is here, the winger is here, these defenders are actually pretty well positioned because they are positioned in a way that enables them to cut any crosses that might be coming Højlund's way. But let's see what he does. What Højlund does here is beautiful footwork. As you can see, quickly he steps slightly to his left, hence widening the angle in which he can receive the ball from the number 20 over here, and then, of course, can control the ball. Beautiful, beautiful finish. Again, for a striker, I've said it in the Osimhen and Harry Kane video, for a striker, off the ball movement is the bread and butter. That's like the math skills for an engineer. A striker who can't do that is not going to be an efficient striker, and the opposite is true. A technically limited or physically limited striker can still score loads of goals if he has beautiful movement and amazing pinpoint anticipation. Now here again, Højlund is going to try to go into this area because that's where he wants to go in order to receive this cross over here. But as we will see from the sequence, it doesn't quite work out. As you can see, it's a poor cross that doesn't reach Højlund, but it doesn't matter because over here, he actually wants to move into a position where he's not offside. So let's see how he moves in order to adapt to this situation. Now, he has a defender watching him here, but Højlund wants to be in this area in order to receive the ball from this player over here. But of course, this center back is watching him. So what is he gonna do? Well, what he does is that he actually goes around in a very subtle manner. And then now he's in a position to receive the ball here between the left-sided center back and the left back. And then of course he gets the ball, and when he gets it in these areas, it's pretty much easy to score from these positions. Now, let's look at another aspect of Højlund. Of course, we looked at how he is a very good fox in the box type of striker, but here in this sequence, we can see a different area of his game. Højlund over here, of course, he receives the ball in the middle of the park. What is he gonna do? Well, actually here he shows his ability. He wants to go into this space right here. He shows his ability to run with the ball, and that's a very important ability in a complete type of forward, because you want them to perform different tactical roles depending on the opposition that you are facing and depending on the course of the game. And then here, of course, he shoots. Probably it would have been a better decision if he went a little bit wider and crossed across goal, but it doesn't matter. He's 20. You can expect them to be a little too eager sometimes, but it doesn't matter. It's just his ability with the ball at his feet. Also, please note, he's actually left-footed. And so this shot was with his right foot, and it was not actually too far off from the target. Now here we're gonna see another aspect of Højlund, which is his defensive contribution and his ability to press. An amazing player at that as well. So here, this was in a game against Lecce. He's gonna go here in order to pressurize this defender over here. So the defender lets the ball go to the goalkeeper. Now, usually in these kind of situations, it's safe. But look at what Højlund does. He waits for the goalkeeper to control the ball. Okay, so as soon as there you go, that's the trigger. The goalkeeper controls the ball. Goalkeepers usually have a heavy first touch. Now Højlund is on him. Beautiful sprint, so fast. He's deceptively fast, very fast player, and he's tall. You know, 6'3". He's a big guy, and yet he's quite explosive. Now here another situation, amazing. Højlund over here. 3 Lazio players around him. He wants to go into this space. Look how he sprints. That's a TGV. That's a high-speed French train over there. Look at that. So now he's able to receive the ball in this space, but that's not all. Surrounded by 4 Lazio players, he still want to go into this area right here. Look at guys, this reminds me of that amazing Gareth Bale goal for Tottenham against Inter Milan. Look at him, like they cannot catch him. He has outrun 7 Lazio players, and then of course with his upper body strength he's able to hold off, I think this is Luis Alberto, I think the number 10 for Lazio, and then he has a shot on goal. It didn't go through, but it's fine. Now another aspect of his defensive contribution, of course, his ability to press from the front and then create chances out of nothing for his team. So here he's gonna put pressure on this center back over here. There you go. He's intense with his run in, gets the ball, beautiful, wins the ball. Now, what happens in these situations is that a lot of players want to play it safe. Okay, I got the ball back. That's it. I finished my job. My job here is done. So he would pass it to number 77 over here, and then Atalanta can recycle possession. But not Hojlund. What he does actually is that he sees this as an opportunity to create another chance. So he goes on the left wing, right? And then here, obviously, 2 Atalanta players, especially Lukman over here, who can receive the ball, but there are 4 Lazio players in the box, and yet he's still going to be able to find his teammate. So he finds Lukman, and then Lukman, of course, misses the chance to score. So yes, Hojlund, amazing complete player, and I can't wait to see what kind of player he can become under Erik Ten Hag. Okay, so now let's see how Rasmus Højlund would fit in within the current Manchester United squad. So as part of the 4-2-3-1 system that Erik Ten Hag plays, we must have 6 forward players, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and 2 through the middle for us in order to make sure that we have enough rotation options throughout the season. And so what we have is Martial and Weghorst through the middle, Anthony and Sancho on the right, and then Rashford and Garnacho on the left. Of course, Sancho and Rashford can play on the right or on the left. It doesn't matter. But Hojlund, as we've seen from the tactical analysis, he actually offers a lot of the things that Weghorst does, mainly his pressing ability and physical presence, but also much more. So if we bring in Hojlund, I don't think that Weghorst's loan is going to be made permanent. So then you're going to have Martial and Hojlund through the middle. Of course, it's going to be easy to sell this move to Hojlund because Martial, as we know, is not always available. So if you find yourself in a situation next year where Martial is not available for like 30 or 40% of the games in the season, that means that Hojlund is actually going to start quite a few games for Manchester United. And then Elanga, Amad Diallo and Pelistri, in my opinion, are question marks. So let's talk about them because they are also going to be affected by this Hojlund move. First of all, Elanga. I simply do not think that Elanga is good enough. He's not better than any of the options that are ahead of him. And I think we are just lying to ourselves. And Elanga is lying to himself. If he thinks that he has a future as a starter at Manchester United or even a squad player, I don't think so. I think that even Amad and Pelistri are better options than Elanga. I think this season we need to sell him, or at least he needs to go on loan, but he deserves to play. He needs to kickstart his season. That leaves us with Amad and Pelistri. Now these two have to stay. At least one of them has to stay. Why? If Martial has problems with injury as he's been having this season, that means that Rashford is going to have to play through the middle alongside Hojlund to provide the rotation option as he's doing with Weghorst this season. That means Sancho can move and play more to the left. That means you need someone to play here, either Pelistri or Amad. What I think is we should keep Pelistri instead of Amad for the following reasons. And no, it's not because I don't like Amad Diallo. I'm following his progress at Sunderland, a very, very good player. But actually, it's because of that. He's playing very well at Sunderland. He's starting for them, so he's building momentum. I think that the next step for him next year is not to sit on the bench at Manchester United, but he needs to go somewhere where he's trusted, where he's gonna start every game. And actually, what a better place for him to go than Atalanta Bergamo, the same club that we're gonna be getting Hojlund from, because we bought Amad Diallo from there. Like, he was developed at Atalanta. His manager is still there. The coaching staff that have shaped him as a player are still there, and a lot of his teammates from the youth team are also still there. So literally, you can get Hojlund, and to get a smaller fee, you could actually give them loan them Amad Diallo until the rest of the season without any option to buy. So Amad can go to Atalanta, and then you have Pelistri working in the training sessions with Erik Ten Hag, further developing his game and growing as a player, and then eventually gaining the manager's trust and being involved more. Because we are going to get suspensions, we are going to get injuries. some players are going to get fatigued, especially if next season, just like this season, we are competing on 3 or 4 fronts, right? We need bodies, right? And so I think that in this kind of configuration right here, if you have Rashford, like let's say he's a left winger and a striker kind of thing, and then you have Martial and Hojlund through the center forward position, Anthony Pelistri on the right, Sancho and Garnacho on the left, then I think that this gives us pretty good balance. Weghorst going back to Burnley, and then Elanga probably being sold or going on loan, and then Ahmad going on a productive loan at Atalanta as part of sweetening the deal to get Hojlund, but also as a great opportunity for him to show what he can do. And I think that a transfer for Hojlund is extremely feasible because he just joined Atalanta this season. He's not a main player for them yet because Zapata and Luis Muriel, their 2 center forwards, still start most of the games ahead of him. So he's more of a wonder kid with potential, not really an established first team player for them, though that might change because the rest of the season, maybe he's going to start all of their games until the summer break. But I don't think that he's the kind of player that would command 40 million and more. I think we could get him for around 25 to 40 million pounds, depending on our negotiating skills and depending on what we include. I think if we include Amad Diallo on loan for the rest of the season while we take care of his wages, and then maybe let's say 30 million for Hojlund, I think that could be quite a sensible piece of business for Manchester United. So anyway, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this tactical analysis of Rasmus Højlund. Please leave a comment in the comment section below telling me whether you'd actually like Højlund at Manchester United, or do you have any other alternatives. Also, if you like the video, please give it the thumbs up, and please, guys, share it on social media, because if we want these targets to happen, we need to spread the word, okay? So please, if you like the video, if you agree with its content, share it with your friends on social media. Share it in the Manchester United fan groups, okay? And until next time, please make sure to leave any recommendations, any suggestions that you have for ideas for future videos. As I've said before, you recommend something and I will definitely deliver. Cheers.